In a quiet meadow surrounded by flowers lived a small ant named Max. He was much smaller than the other ants in his colony, and this made him feel sad and lonely. While other ants worked hard gathering food and building tunnels, Max always felt he couldn't keep up. He would get tired quickly and often thought he wasn't as good as the others. Every day, the colony worked together like a well-oiled machine. Some ants found food in the meadow, others carried it back home, and many worked on building tunnels underground. The colony was always buzzing with activity, but Max felt like he didn't fit in because of his size. When he tried to carry food, his legs would shake. When he tried to dig tunnels, he got tired much faster than the others. "I wish I could be as strong as the others," he would think, watching them work. "But I just can't keep up." One bright morning, when dew still sparkled on the grass, Max went for a walk to clear his thoughts. As he wandered through the tall grass stems, he saw something amazing in the distance, a huge mountain that seemed to touch the sky. It was covered in green trees and gray rocks, and the top disappeared into white clouds. Max had never seen anything so magnificent. The morning sun made the mountain's peak glow like gold, and Max stood mesmerized by the sight. Looking at the mountain, Max felt both excited and scared. His tiny heart beat faster as he wondered, "What's at the top of that mountain? What can you see from up there?" He wanted to climb it more than anything, but doubt crept into his mind. "I'm just a tiny ant," he said, his antennae drooping. "That mountain is too big for someone as small as me." Still, something deep inside Max's heart made him want to try. Even though scared, he took a deep breath and decided to walk toward the mountain. With each step closer, the mountain looked bigger, making Max feel smaller than ever. But then he remembered what his grandmother once said. "The journey of 1,000 steps begins with just one." These words gave him courage. On his way up the mountain path, Max met a wise old snail slowly making its way up the rocky slope. The snail's shell was weathered from many journeys. Max watched its slow but steady progress and asked, "Why are you climbing this big mountain? You're so slow, just like me. Don't you think it's too much for us small creatures?" The snail turned and smiled gently. "My little friend," it said kindly, "I may be slow, but I keep moving forward. This mountain is big, but every tiny step brings me closer to the top. It's not about being fast or strong. It's about taking one step at a time and never giving up. The mountain doesn't care how quickly you climb it. It only matters that you keep trying." These words made Max think differently about his journey. Maybe he didn't need to be fast or strong. He just needed to keep going, no matter how small his steps were. The mountain would wait patiently for him. Max continued climbing with new determination. The path was steep and rocky, and many times his tiny legs felt like giving up. The wind sometimes nearly knocked him over, and the sun made him tired. But each time he wanted to stop, he remembered the snail's words and kept going. "I may be small," Max told himself, "but I can do big things if I don't give up." After a long journey with many challenges, Max finally reached the top. Looking down at the meadow below, everything seemed different. His colony looked like a tiny speck, and the flowers that once seemed so tall now looked like little dots of color. The mountain that had appeared so huge didn't seem as frightening anymore. Max felt proud. He had done something he thought impossible. Sitting on a rock at the top, Max learned something important. It wasn't about being the strongest or the fastest. It was about having the courage to try and the determination to keep going when things got difficult. He had climbed this huge mountain not because he was the biggest ant, but because he never gave up. As Max made his way back down, his heart was full of joy and new confidence. He had learned that no matter how small you are, you can do big things if you keep trying. Sometimes it's not about how big the mountain is. It's about having the courage to climb it, one small step at a time. From that day on, Max never doubted himself again. When other ants saw how far he had come, they looked at him with new respect. He might still have been the smallest ant in the colony, but now he had the biggest heart and the strongest determination. Max knew that with courage and persistence, he could overcome any challenge, no matter how big it seemed.